29th of the 7th, 2011. This is today's climate change update. I'm going to start on scott.net tonight. Earth is getting fatter. Like many of its inhabitants, Earth is getting thicker around the middle. That's what a new study out this week says. The increased bulge is due to the melting of the Greenland and Antarctic ice sheets. The Earth was never perfectly round to begin with, due to its spin. Just as an ice skater's skirt flutters up and away from her skates during her pirouette, water on Earth is more concentrated at the equator than at the poles. And so this is a confirmation brought from the ISNS that glacial melting and the Earth is, the weight is being distributed. U.S. Pennsylvania girl 11 hit by lightning on a sunny afternoon. In Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, an 11-year-old western Pennsylvania girl is recovering after she was struck by a bolt from the blue. So talking about the odds of getting struck by lightning on a sunny day. Out of Iowa, record rainfall and flash flooding and fires in Dubuque, Iowa. Now this is in eastern Iowa. They've got videos out of this. 10.92 inches of rain fell in Dubuque overnight, and rain continues to fall over eastern Iowa. That's a record day in Dubuque and most of any July day in history. There were unofficial 12 inches in Galena and Posta, Iowa. The rain caused widespread flash flooding, which covers parts of Highway 20, forced officials to shut down in both directions of traffic. Highway 20 was closed between Epworth and Peosta, and also from mile marker 313 to the Illinois border. And there were tornado warnings earlier in the evening, but there have been no confirmed reports of tornado touchdowns or damage. And the story goes on to say that 2 lightning fires and somebody started a car and there was fluids in their garage that was flooded, that caught on fire and their house burnt down, and the fire department couldn't get to them due to flooding. U.S. unusual lightning strike sparks 3 Minnesota fires. Lightning hitting a tree caused 3 fires in East 9th Street in Duluth this morning, extensively damaging 1 house. Fukushima long ranked as most hazardous plant. Japan's Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant ranked as one of the most dangerous power world for radiation exposure years before it was destroyed by the meltdowns and explosions that followed the March 11th earthquake. And the insanity continues in Fukushima. U.S. tropical storm Dawn moving across the Gulf of Mexico towards southeastern Texas. And they're saying it's a pretty condensed storm, so everybody don't get too excited too soon. I mean, as far as rainfall totals and breaking the drought that is going on in Texas and the southeast United States right now. Much needed rain on the way. I hope Dawn delivers. Philippines tropical storm Warning triggers floods, landslides, and accidents, and at least 10 people died and 4 others were reported missing as tropical storm Warning, international code name Knock 10, intensified further and moved closer to the country yesterday, officials said. And again, this is their time of year, and tsunamis all throughout that region. A couple little quicks. Over to the extinction protocol. Here's a story. Grid strained across the planet as both demand and high temperatures soar. Now, this is a story coming out of Kenya, Africa, as far as how they're not able to keep up with demand in their country, and they want to do hydroelectrical or geothermal out of the Menenge crater to help supply the energy, and that They're having a deal with the company. The KPLC does not generate power. The company sells power to customers, and instead of letting customers suffer erratic outages, it would be better to caution them at a certain period of time that there will be interruptions. So they're letting the people know in the strained area that don't plan on it, you know. Flash floods return to southeast Poland. Although the scale of the flooding is decently smaller than last year's disaster, about 500 homes have been deluged with water in the San Marininas area alone, and that region is having extensive weather as well. Growing threat of wildfires in the Arctic could unleash greenhouse gases from the tundra. The Arctic, after 10,000 years of absence of wildfires, have returned to the Arctic tundra, and the University of Florida study shows that their impact could extend far beyond the areas blackened by flames. In a study published in the July 28 issue of the journal Nature, UF ecologists and a team of scientists, including some UF ecologists, quantified the amount of soil-bound carbon released into the atmosphere in the 2007 Anaktuvuk River fire, which covered more than 400 square miles on the north slope of Alaska's Brook Ridge. The 2.1 million metric tons of carbon released in the fire, roughly twice the amount of the greenhouse gases put out by the city of Miami in a year. So, as it thaws, it dries and it burns, and they want to tax you for it. Here's a funny one. U.S. debt fears grow as UK becomes the safest haven for bondholders. And God save the Queen, right? Over to the Watchers. Russia battles fires amid tropical heat. Russia on Thursday sweltering to abnormally hot summer weather as the emergency services sought to control expanding countryside blazes to prevent a repeat of last year's devastating wildfires. And 40 degrees Celsius or 104 Fahrenheit in the past few days in places. As Typhoon Waning exits Philippines, another tropical storm is forming. And again, it's that time of year they're going to get one after the other, all up through Japan and the Fukushima area. And of course, the Philippines are on alert for landslides. There's nothing really new on the RSOE other than what I've already covered, so I'm not even going to cover that. And enjoy it while you can. Thanks for all your help.